story, David. So there was a quest endured in my life to find the highest quality chocolate milk in existence.
Perfect. Upstate Farms Intense Chocolate Milk. Thanks. Have a nice day.
Not.
What?
Dave? I thought so. So what's funny is I actually bought one of
Yeah,
these
that's the
today.
best one. You already found it. Perfect. Quest is over.
The
No
quest
need
is
to
not.
go further. It's over.
The quest is not over, David. Best is a term used delicately here.
Can I interrupt to tell my Upstate Farm story?
I would love for you to milk this, David. Go right ahead. Let me touch my drink lips with the more superior milk.
I used to. I was probably 16 years old, had a part-time job working for my friend's grandma cleaning commercial buildings. One of the buildings I cleaned was the Upstate Farms office building on, I think it's on Walden. It's off of Walden. Okay. It's very close to the mall, which apparently is now a shithole. Is this true? That used to be a really nice mall.
Well, you move a Walmart and a flea market,
This commercial building that I cleaned, right, did not have a water fountain or a source of water. New York state law dictates if you do not have a water fountain, you must provide drinks for free.
Okay.
So there was there was a fridge that had all types of water bottles and Upstate Farms milk of all types of flavors, intense chocolate milk, all of it, including the very delicious Buffalo
Vanilla
Bill's
milk.
50th anniversary blue intense milk. And it was probably one of the most delicious things. It was supposed to be like birthday cake. The most delicious things I've ever drinking in my entire life.
So you're incongruence that milk is the superior beverage.
I drank a lot of intense chocolate milk, right? So you think, and I will tell you you're incorrect, but you can think it if you'd like. You think you found a superior chocolate milk?
I know it's superior.
Ryan, how much milk do you have in your hot car right now?
It's not a car. You have the AC on, dude. Milk's room temperature. It stays in a tit. You're gonna tell me that's not fucking.
Absolutely no. You put it in your fridge so it's cold.
You're fucking weak, dude. You're weak.
Oh my
God. Weak.
You can't have a preference. Having a preference makes you weak.
No, it's zero. You must suffer until you persevere.
I don't have to suffer. What kind of communist shit is this? I have to suffer?
Just put your desk outside, you soft-skinned fuck.
No, I'm not. I don't have to.
Like riddled nails.
Yeah, none of this is true.
Superior chocolate milk, David. It is by Pittsburgh Farms Dairy. Okay, this is a local outside of Rochester. It comes in a glass bottle, so already superior to Upstate Farms and all other chocolate milk. Glass bottle, instantly superior. You get a $2 deposit back, so you got to shell out $2 extra on top of the price.
Okay. How much is the price of this glass bottle?
It was $5.40
for a gallon glass bottle.
A gallon glass bottle
with the $2 deposit.
Yeah, it was $7.
Oh, it's $7.40 with the $2 deposit. All right, that's fine, I guess.
Okay, so ingredients, David. Here's where it comes down to. Remember that sea moss fucking extract?
Sure.
Fucking Carrageenan.
Yeah, you're against sea moss. I get it.
All right, so these are the ingredients in Upstate Farms. I bought this today. Calories, 200 calories, 8 grams of protein, standard.
In a serving, right? Of what is it? An 8-ounce cup?
Yeah, 1 cup there's 8 servings in a half gallon, so there's 16 in a full gallon. Ingredients: pasteurized, grade A milk, sugar, cocoa, processed with alkalia, salt, carrageenan, natural and artificial flavor, and vitamin D. Okay.
They add vitamin D to the milk?
Allegedly, David.
It already has vitamin D. It's milk.
They filter it out of there, David.
And then they re-add it?
Pittsburgh Farm milk, David. Grade A whole milk. Mm-hmm. Okay, so pasteurized grade A milk. So this is not whole milk. so it's already superior. Sugar, cocoa processed with alcacia, pure vanilla, not vanilla extract, and salt. That's all that's in this.
Okay. But the real question is
Tastes
it
amazing.
does it taste better?
Tastes amazing.
But does it taste better? They both they both can taste amazing. Which one tastes better? I want a blind taste test on this.
David, it tastes the taste is irrelevant if one isn't real
What do you
milk.
mean it's irrelevant? That's like
Dave, this
that's the
isn't
whole
milk. It's fucking filtered milk chocolate mix. I want whole milk. I want fucking real milk. That's all. I found it. Mecca. It's at Wegmans. There, you're welcome.
Of course it's
You're
at
welcome.
Wegmans.
They sell regular milk too, people. So if you don't want to drink all the chocolate with the sugar, they sell regular milk. That newsflash, if you look at it, it's probably just milk on there. And
Just milk.
also, David, this
Raw unpasteurized milk, right?
not raw, David. I didn't
Oh,
say
so it's
that.
pasteurized. What's pasteurized then?
It's still whole milk. It's real milk. It's not filtered the fat out. That milk also has 30 more calories per serving. So when you extend that over 16 servings, it's quite a bit.
The
So
Pittsford milk has more calories.
yeah, it's like 500 more calories in that gallon
Well,
than a
I
than a
need you to
gallon of
know,
intense.
and I know you don't see it this way, but I need you to know most people would see that as a negative.
Well, you just got to get on a bulk and turn it into fucking muscle. Dude, you guys are weak, just weak. Or you could just drink a gallon of milk a day and not eat anything else.
Drink a gallon of milk a day
Yeah, just drink that and water. What's wrong with
and
that?
not eat.
You have all your caloric. You have it has carbohydrates. It has fat. It has amino acids, which is protein. You have sodium. You have the salt in your body. We looked it up yesterday, David. It hydrates you just as well as water. Sometimes
Oh,
you can
yes, in long
you
term.
can live on just water. So just drink if you want to lose weight. I guarantee you, if you drink a gallon of milk a day and just drink water, a gallon of milk, a gallon of
I don't think
water,
you
and
can just drink water. I think you need to
so
eat food.
dude, people do 30-day fasts all the time on just
Sure,
water.
sure,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
but it's
But do they do 90-year fasts?
you're not fasting, you're drinking milk. It has a complex protein complex. There's all your basic
I,
amino acids you need for basic life, dude. We're mammals. We live on milk. The best milk
so
for us to drink
mammals,
would be human milk.
other
Okay?
mammals
Would be
don't eat things. They just drink
we
milk.
have we have yeah, yes.
Yes,
They
they
drink
don't
milk.
eat food.
They also eat shit, but the milk is the nutrient, dude. It's like your own fluid. What are you talking about? I
This
don't
is
understand. What do you do?
this
Dude,
is this is
it's fact. You milk is basically a protein shake. A protein shake is milk. They just remove it and
how
isolate
much
the whey.
protein
That's
is in
why
a
it's
cup
called
of
whey.
milk?
8 grams.
8 grams of protein. And how much protein should you really be taking in?
Depends on your activity and everything else. But in
Like
principle, if
1
you are
gram
trying to
per pound of body weight?
lean body weight, so if fucking half your body mass is fat, no, you don't need 300 pounds of fat, of protein if you're fat. But if you got 60 pounds of lean mass, you should eat 60 grams of protein. But you should get to a point that your body weight is your protein number, relative. If you want, like, dude, eat more protein, you'll live longer. It's just proven. I'm fucking 33 years old.
Yeah, that's very young, Ryan. It is. That is relatively extremely young.
Okay. I have a 35-year-old sister who's hideous.
That's
So take it
very
for what
mean, Ryan. That's a mean thing to say about
she's
your sister.
she started it and she doesn't watch the show, so fuck her. Hey, I supported her in her business. She doesn't support me in mine.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Drink milk. I found the milk. $7. $7 a day. It's $5,100 a year for me to drink for me and the lady to drink a gallon of milk a day.
So you guys drink a gallon of milk each per day.
I'm probably gonna try to shoot. We're a gallon of milk between us. Yes,
Per day.
per day.
And you
Yeah.
don't eat food.
I eat food. I eat like eggs
You
and
do eat food.
bacon. I do eat food. I eat a dinner, breakfast sandwich,
So are
and
you
milk.
so you're telling people not to eat food so you can have the food?
No, I
Is
said
the
if you're
story?
fat, if you're fat to just drink milk, you don't need food. That's what I said.
Oh, if you're already fat.
Yeah, if you're overweight and
So
you
if you're
want to like,
already
oh
fat, go on a milk diet. I could almost get behind that. Ryan, I
yeah, a
need you to
gallon
know
of
that you
milk.
would die if you
I
just drank a gallon of milk
guarantee
every
you.
day.
Look, 5 grand is cheaper than Big Macs, dude. That's 50 days of Big Macs. You know what I mean? People are buying more of that. They're buying more booze than $5,000 of milk. $7 a day for the highest quality milk. Go buy shitty intense milk for half the price, fine, and cut it down to 2,500 if you make minimum wage. Fine. And then you go even 50 cents cheaper
Ooh,
to just get
intense
white
milk
milk.
is not it's not cheap though.
No, it's 4.49. I think regular chocolate milk is 3.59 or whatever. It's like
Yeah, it's
70
not
cents.
cheap.
Yeah, but you could go white milk for 50 cents cheaper. But get whole milk. Don't get this 2 and 1% bullshit. You need the fat. Your brain is fat. And if you're active, you're going to use the shit.
Yeah,
But
but if
back
you're
to whole,
but yeah,
if
but
you're
that
not
means in your
active,
right.
yeah, yeah, but you
If you're
need
talking about
some kind of
300-pound people,
calories.
they're not active.
You're, yeah, you're gonna be hungry. You know, I'm not gonna fucking tell you it's gonna be all. The other thing is the potato diet, but you don't want to do that. Sounds terrible. Milk sounds way more palatable. Chocolate milk is way more tolerable. But you gotta understand that's all you're drinking that day. Like this is all you could have all day.
And water.
I don't know. Yeah, and a gallon of water, the same thing in water. I'd wager because it's like 1,980 calories, and then you get like 80 something or 120 something grams of protein in that. So the only real thing you got to worry about is the fucking sugar. So if you're not really diabetic, you don't got nothing really to
That's
worry
probably
about.
a
But if you're
fuck pile
fat,
of sugar though. It really is. If
yeah, I mean
you're doing
we're
the chocolate
talking
milk, yeah. That's got to be a lot of
20,
sugar.
25 grams of sugar per serving. 25 and 16,
That's
300
quite a bit.
grams of sugar. Yeah,
Yeah.
I personally trade off the sugar because I personally believe I could just burn it off. If it don't work that way, okay, but it's working so far. So I
Okay, so
found the way. $7.
Ryan's on a milk diet. Okay.
Milk diet, lean, mean, and fucking whole milk machine, dude. I'm sweating chocolate milk. That's all there's gonna be to it. I'm going to replace the water in my body with milk.
I don't know if that's how that works. I feel like it would just turn like the water would come out of the milk. You would get the water out of the milk. I don't think your water will turn into milk.
My water is milk, David. I am milk. Just drink the God's nectar, David, and embrace the milk diet. That's why they demonize milk, David.
This is something. This is something. Ryan, also,
I did all the look. I did. I
that's fine.
presented my argument
That's
for
fine.
the nutritious breakdown on why milk is the superior beverage on
Hold on.
earth.
Hold on.
Are you asking Gronk if he could
We
do a
have
milk
to.
diet?
We have to. I
Yeah, yeah,
love
yeah.
asking AI stuff. My
Yo,
mouse
Dave, should you share that TikTok I sent you too
uh whoa.
about
Oh.
TikToks? How we use
Ah.
it as Google searches?
Hold on. Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
prompt
Well,
it.
yeah, and I really do. Should you only consume milk all day?
What you should ask Gronk is if you were to drink a gallon of milk and a gallon of water a day, could you sustain life long term?
Okay, well, so I asked, should you consume milk all day? And what it said is, no, you shouldn't consume only milk all day. While milk provides calcium, protein, and some vitamins, it lacks the full range of nutrients needed for a balanced diet, like fiber, certain vitamins, and minerals. Relying solely on milk could lead to deficiencies, digestive issues, or excessive calorie intake, especially if it's whole milk. For adults, a varied diet with fruits, vegetables, grains, proteins, and healthy fats is essential. If you're considering a liquid diet or have a specific health needs, consult a doctor. Uh, Disclaimer: Grok is not a doctor. You want me to ask if you will live?
Oh, well, I'm trying to prompt it like
These
a
are
young.
these are like different. These are like different.
Well, you're
Completely
trying to
different.
prompt. Yeah, when I seen that TikTok about prompting ChatGPT, it's more
Can
like,
you live off of only milk? I think these are different questions. Like I'm looking at should you, and you're saying can you live? Probably. You can't sustainably live off only milk long term. Milk provides protein, calcium, and some vitamins like D
there
and
you go.
B12.
Fuck everything. If you're fat, drink a gallon of milk a day and a
So
gallon of
you
water and work out.
then,
Fuck everything else. You don't.
but
It's stop making it harder.
it says you can't. It says you can't sustainably live off only milk. It lacks critical nutrients like fiber, iron, vitamin C, essential fatty acids.
Fuck these people. I don't trust them.
Historically, some cultures used milk-heavy diets, but they supplemented with other food like blood, meat, or plants. Infants can survive on milk alone for a time because breast milk or formula is nutritionally tailored, but adults need more variety.
Well, I eat fruit and meat, so I'm not on just milk. But
What the?
as far as a weight loss journey, I think it's a good. I think okay. I can
I think
refract some of this.
it could work. Sure.
Let's say, yeah, a quarter of your calories a day should come from milk, and then fucking focus on some fruit to get your bullshit fiber, and then like a lean protein for dinner. Fruit breakfast, milk through lunch, and then dinner. You could do like a lean meat and vegetable.
Well, that's
Calorie deficient.
what you're describing is probably what people literally should live off of.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for me.
Ryan, on the show today, since you kicked us off with milk after ending us with milk yesterday, you're really on a milk
Part two,
kick here. This is something.
body by milk, dude.
Speaking of milk, Steak and Shake, Ryan.
Good old steak and shake, dude.
Milkshake. I mean something. They're accepting Bitcoin.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a fringe thing, dude.
No. We got a video. It's pretty fucking awesome. Pair that with the beef tallow thing. It's pretty sweet. Tim Pool, Ryan. Tim Pool's on fucking fire. Love it. Speaking of people on fire, Matt Walsh is on fucking fire.
Well, he's about to get fired, right?
Oh my god, yeah. Inside Epstein's bedroom now. James O'Keefe has released more Epstein rooms. A great body cam of a female cop.
Like she has a great body, or like
no. Were the hijackers CIA payroll, Ryan, and the great controversy, 8647. With that said, Ryan,
what hijackers, David?
the 9/11 hijackers. With that said, Ryan, where would you like to start? Pick your poison.
I want the lady cop.
You want Lady Cop? That's actually that's something. Let me bring up Lady Cop. Fuck. For the record. No, we're just playing it. No, for the record. No, for the record, Ryan. We're just playing it. You ready?
Yeah.
It's a body cam, so I don't think there's audio.
I can only see you.
Yeah. You can only see me.
Mm-hmm.
Did I not share it? You fuck with me? It says I'm sharing.
No, I've never fucked with you a single time. What I tell you, not once. You always hit me. Are you?
Dude,
No,
come on. There's no way.
No shot, dude.
How about now?
No.
Dude,
hold on. There's a screen.
Hold on. Here it is. Hey.
Oh,
there it is.
Holy.
All right, let's try this again. Here we go. Dude, draws her weapon, and he literally walks up and grabs it out of her hand. What the fuck?
Why wouldn't you shoot him?
I don't know what.
Sir, did you just say?
Oh, here we go.
Sir, did you just say, brother? Sir, did you just say, brother?
Yes, I got it. Yes, I got it.
That's like stay forever. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me.
Dude, what the fuck?
Hey, put it down.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So let me get this straight. He disarmed you. You ran away and
Jesus
cried while he was just
fucking
outside
Christ.
with your gun going crazy.
Dude. Holy fuck.
There's no way she beat out men for that position. There's no way.
Just as qualified, Ryan, surely. Surely she met the same standards.
Not. Now look at me being judgmental, not being a cop. Yeah, people, I work on pretty dangerous stuff. It's not firearms, but I got to bring my A game to it. Linemen go to work every day. It's more dangerous than a cop. They go to work every fucking day not crying.
She's only useful for the milk run. That was that was fucking painful to watch.
He's only useful for them.
What in the actual fuck? She drew her firearm and he just grabbed it out of her hand.
Get on the ground or I'll shoot. Oh yeah, you're saved in Jesus' name.
We can play into the biology of that if you really want to.
What do you think it is?
Well, it's women are more empathetic.
Well, you think that she could reason, like he would listen?
No, I think she would feel worse.
Oh, you're saying if she shot and killed him, she'd feel bad.
Yes.
So she'd rather feel petrified of a man killing her? Because that's what she got.
Do you think women naturally put people before themselves?
Yeah. Most women.
I think that's.
I think the women.
I think that's what.
I think the women that. I think the women that haven't, they have either, they have their walls up for whatever reason. But I would like to think that women naturally are nurturing in ways that men aren't nurturing.
Well, and here's the thing. This is important. When you're put in a high stress situation, you fall back to your natural instincts. A man's natural instinct is to fight and survive. I think her natural instinct was to be nurturing and empathetic and caring, and it almost got her killed and other people killed.
I mean, $80,000 a year, dude. That's a good job. I'm a cop. Instagram.
You might be able to train that out of people. I'm not saying it's impossible for a female to be a good cop.
Dude, I don't think you can train shit out of people. The communists kind of proved that, didn't they?
I don't know.
You can't socially engineer people the way you think you can. The 20th century showed that. Jordan Peterson, that was his lesson from the 20th century, is that people aren't biological machines that you can just program to your whims and your desires. You can't just train somebody to be fucking a police officer. Not everybody's chemically make up to be a police officer.
A lot of times the wrong people are police officers too. That goes for men too.
Well, it's kind of like, the guy whose dad was a police officer or something, right? And then he gets into it and he's like abusive with power, for example. That's a good example. Well, but yeah, like somebody who's not qualified or somebody who doesn't, the guy that could have stopped that school shooting, the guy that was getting his haircut ran the Texas shooting. What one was that?
I was just gonna bring that up. I forgot what the town was, but yes, I was just going to bring that up because that was probably the most pathetic display of policing I've ever seen. This is
I think the only thing worse would be the guy that walked up the ladder for the Trump assassin and then just turned around and walked back down the ladder.
That just brings into question how much of that was done on purpose. Yeah. Yeah, this, however, was a truly pathetic display of police work.
I mean, and to go further, sometimes like the police work ain't even like cowardice. Sometimes it is the people that are power hungry that like do whatever. You know, there is cops that do profile black people, pull them over, and then fucking arrest them. Sure, and that's just as bad. But I don't know, like enough is enough, dude. I've asked women in my life, do you think that you could pull me if there was like a flaming fucking beam on top of me and you had to like push something off me and drag me to save my life? Do you think you could do that? And they said, yeah, but I don't believe them. Like, I don't know if you could drag me 100 feet, you know?
How many would try is the scarier question.
0.
You don't think anyone would try to save you from a burning beam?
No, dude, you can't stop me. I'm fucking unkillable, dude.
You're
fucking
unkillable. Oh my god.
unkillable, dude. Fuck out of here.
Okay. You probably won't ignite because you're milk soaked.
Silk toast, milk toast,
You're
dude.
so hydrated with milk you cannot ignite.
Milk conducts electricity, David. That's why it's hydrating.
Ryan. What the fuck? Tim Pool, Ryan. We talked about Tim Pool yesterday. I'm gonna make you a Tim Pool fan. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's the Rumble thing. I don't know. Maybe being off of YouTube, maybe he was self-censoring, which is partially makes me annoyed with him, but he has been just tearing shit up lately, Ryan. He had I don't remember what the guy's name. It's like Adam something. I don't remember what the
Adam Schiff.
he was. No, he was on Rogan before, and Rogan tore him up like years ago about transgender.
The
like
alpha
puberty
male
blockers
thing
and
too,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, I can't remember what the fuck this guy's name is, but he had another show like Adam Knows Everything or some stupid shit. It was on TV. He was part of like the College Humor crowd, I think. I really don't remember his whole name, but it's not important. The thing that is important, Ryan, is Tim Pool absolutely fucking lit him up.
Bro, Donald Trump dumped food into a fish pond after Shinzo Abe did. Why are you trying to make that a negative
I don't even
story?
know what that
It was
we're
like
talking about there.
it's all of these hoaxes. The very fine people hoax.
I mean, I remember the line. Yeah,
Trump
they're
never
very,
called Nazis fine people,
he said there were very fine people on both sides,
except the neo-Nazis and white nationalists who should be condemned totally.
right? He said that.
Holy shit, brother!
I don't live in your bubble, man.
You don't live in the fucking news, dude. Come the fuck on. You don't read the fucking news. This is what fucking blows my mind.
No, I just don't have I don't have your
No,
obsessions.
Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. Bro, it's been almost 10 years and you still think he did. That's
No,
what's
I
fucked up.
didn't say I think he did. I just don't know what you're talking about because I don't like
Joe
I don't
Biden.
listen to your shit.
It's not about listening to my shit, bro. It's reading the news. It's fact checking. Bro, I got Snopes for you. They're not a conservative publication. Even Snopes was like, guys,
I don't know why you're
this.
shouting at me. I was just asking you to explain.
Because the issue we have, and I apologize, because I'm not trying to shout at you. I'm shouting in exasperation that we've had two liberals on in the past 2 weeks who didn't know this. And I'm just like, for the love of all is holy, all I do all day is I read probably 500 news articles every single day from CNN, the New York Times, MSNBC, and all their aggregates. And then liberals come on and they believe things that were debunked 8 years ago.
I didn't say I believed it. I was just asking what you were talking about.
You didn't know this.
Yeah, I don't know everything that you know.
But this is what Biden launched his campaign on. Biden made a public announcement to launch his presidency in 2020 off of this lie. And you didn't know that. 5 years later.
I don't know why you're getting on me about this, but
it's again, I apologize. I'm not trying to get on you. It's the exasperation largely with liberals.
This is kind of like the Jake Tapper thing, right? This is like, we have to rub people's noses in it. We really do.
They bankrupted your businesses. They killed your grandparents. They said that if you were unvaccinated, that you were spreading death and disease. And it was your fault that things were expensive. The least we can do is rub their nose in it, David. You should be yelling at these people. They fucking lied to you. They got paid to lie to you. That guy purposely didn't look at shit that he could have. Trump said that. That whole statement was a Trump speech. It's not like he just released. That was a speech he said during his presidency. It
And
was
this
when
and
the
this
guy
is
drove the fucking car through the crowd of people over the Confederate statue and fucking
and this
was
is why
it
you can't let the
South?
media get away with this shit like Jake Tapper, because they are the reason. They cut the clip, they removed the context, and they let it play because they wanted their way. They didn't like that Trump had support.
And then if the thing here's the issue also Tim Pool couldn't really get into because that guy was like, what's that got to do with me? What's it got to do with you is you promote these stories and then it puts race relations behind. If you guys care about race and like coming together as a country, we're doing shit that is purposely dividing us because we're
How many
recycling news. This is neuro linguistic programming. That's why it's Operation Mockingbird. That's why they don't believe. That's why they don't know.
Ryan, if I did like a man on the street segment in like any whatever city you want, it doesn't matter. And I asked a bunch of people, like 1,000 people, how many knew George Floyd had lethal amounts of fentanyl in his system, and how many knew that he had COVID simultaneously? How many people would know that information? The trial was on, it was public, there were clips everywhere. But how many
Maybe
people,
maybe
the
100
average
out of
people,
1,000.
knew that he had fentanyl, a lethal level of fentanyl in his system?
100 per 1,000.
I'd be shocked if it was that high, to be honest with you. You'll get the occasional person who's paying attention. And where it gets even more so, like now if you were to do like a poll style and you were to break it out with like conservatives and liberals and whatever, if you broke it out, those 100 people, 85 of them are conservatives. Maybe more. And then they craft an entire worldview on it. And you
Well,
said
they trigger.
what you said was put race relations behind. I mean, they're putting race relations behind without proper information on purpose.
Purposely mislead. Yeah, purposely misleading you. Creating the problem, and then they're going to offer the solution, which to Tim Pool's point was Joe Biden, to fix the problem that they fucking created. Just like they fund BLM to do $1 billion worth of property damage, and then they leverage that against Trump. They're like, what about the riots?
And then they called it the summer of love.
Yeah, and they
the
said,
summer of love, Ryan.
Mhm.
They
And
overtook an entire city.
well, Chaz and Chop or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think it was the same thing though. They just changed the name for some reason.
Yeah, probably new government, David. Like early revolutionaries go through phases. Tim Pool is also
One was the
reminding me of.
Articles in Confederation, and one was the Constitution.
Yeah, exactly. Tim Pool's reminding me of Alex right now, just so we know. Like that aggressive. He's like, because I remember when I first listened to Alex, he didn't get so mad.
Well, Alex lit up Mark Levin the other day, by the way.
Yeah, Alex didn't always get so mad. He used to be like, all right, look, sometimes I get frustrated, but he'd be like, I'm going to relax and just fucking talk about it. But he would say the same shit that Tim Pool, he's like, dude, I'm up here reading 300 to 400 news articles, watching them fucking lie to everybody. And I got to be like, hey, man, here's the news. And they're like, yeah, I didn't know about this. Like, well, did you read the fucking news, idiot?
Well,
Like,
and he would take it a step further. He'd read the actual documents that the news was getting their information from. So he would catch them lying in real time. Like, I read the document. Don't tell me what it says. Document cam, Ryan.
It's weird, dude. Document cam turned into, hey, Jamie, can you pull that up?
Ryan, Matt Walsh. I want to talk about people who are on fire. I feel a couple things. One, I feel I feel for Jordan Peterson because I like Jordan Peterson, but he's stuck at Daily Wire, and I think it's not doing him any favors. Most of the people at Daily Wire, I think could probably be better off parting ways. But of all the people who would be better off parting ways, Matt Walsh is either tied for first or he's first on his own with Jordan Peterson. This is Matt Walsh saying the kind of shit that I couldn't imagine Ben Shapiro would be okay with.
This is the funny thing about who is considered native or not, who is considered an invader or not. CNN commentators have no problem announcing that white people whose ancestors have been in the country for 20 generations should go back home if they're in South Africa. But try telling the Somalis in Minnesota to go back home. You'll be immediately labeled a far-right bigot. Even though the Somalis have been here for at most a couple of decades, some have been here for a couple of hours, but we're told that the Somalis have every right to be here. That we're told the Somalis, the moment they step foot here, they are just as American as anyone else. The moment the Somali steps foot in this country, they're just as American as you, even if your family's been here for 400 years. And yet the white South Africans are not South African even after 400 years. And Americans who can trace their lineage back several centuries, they just have to shut up and take it in this country. No matter where they are, maybe you've noticed white people, no matter where they are always the colonizers and have no legitimate claim to whatever land they're on. In other words, under the left's framework, white people are the only demographic on the planet that can never be considered truly at home or native to any country anywhere. You know, we'll be told that a white person's true home is Western Europe. And yet, if any white person in the UK claimed that it was a white country, they'd be condemned. You know, they say to us in America that this isn't our land, right? It's stolen. So where is our land? They will not follow that to its conclusion and say that, well, Europe is the white man's land. They're not going to say that. So where is it? The message is that there is literally no place on earth that white people can claim as a legitimate homeland. A white man is native to nowhere. He is indigenous to nowhere. I mean, that's strange, isn't it? How does that work? Like, have you noticed that there's no country on the planet with white indigenous people? How is that possible? Where did the white people come from? Did they fall out of the sky like rain? Did they magically spawn out of thin air? If a white person could trace his roots back to the 17th century in this country, does that make him a Native American? I mean, at what point can the white person say, I am? How many centuries does he need to be? Does his family need to be in a country to be native to it? How many generations? 10? Is that enough? No. 15, 20, 25, 30, 40? Is that enough? At that point, can we say we're native to this country? And if the answer is, well, there's no amount of time, if the answer is that, well, it could be 1,000 years from now, and a white person who's been here for more than 1,000 years, their family's been here for 1,000 years, still is not native to this country in America. If that's the answer, then again, where is his native homeland? And if he goes there, can he claim the title of native or indigenous? Can he say that the non-natives are invading or stealing? Well, the left has no answer to any of those questions. And the reason is that the terms native and colonizer and invader and indigenous are all just tools of manipulation. They don't mean anything.
It's the only part I don't agree with, Mom.
What's that?
Is that words don't mean anything. Like the reason they're hammering the point home is to brainwash you with the terms.
Yeah, I mean, I think what he's saying is that the terms are used as tools of manipulation.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just
or controlling controlling narratives.
yeah. Well, the military wrote this operation, so yeah, he's got a good point about where's the native homeland. It would be the Caucasus Mountains, allegedly.
Yeah, I always just assumed it was Europe, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But to his point, European countries are getting invaded with non-whites, and if anyone says anything about it, it's racism. So, I don't know, but it's almost like people are being guilted into, um, they're being guilted into a place that is going to wind them up like the Native Americans in our country.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, like it or not, the Europeans who came here, who took the land in the way that land used to be taken. So people can not like that. People can prefer the Native Americans kept all the land, but that's just not how it works. That's just not how it works in reality. We're seeing that with Russia and Ukraine.
Whether
We're seeing that right now.
or Hamas, Israel, and Palestine.
Sure. The fact is, if you can't defend your land, is not just yours forever. Things are not yours forever. If you can't defend yourself, your family, your property, you're going to lose it. That's the law of life. People just live in this fantasy land, and part of that is because that is what capitalism has created here, and capitalism is the greatest thing to happen to human civilization, specifically for that reason, because we have resources now where we don't have to kill somebody to take their stuff. That's part of why capitalism is the greatest system of all time, because what we do is we, instead of that, mutually agree to barter and trade and sell, which means if you live in your house, it's because you bought it, not because you killed the previous owner. People take it for granted here. They really do take our system for granted.
Private property rights too, which is
And it's the
baked right
same
into there.
people, it's so ironic, and I don't want to say they don't understand this, but it seems like they don't understand this. The same people have the problem with white Europeans beating natives for land. The same people have a problem with capitalism. Which one do you want? Because those are your options.
Everything be free, David. The rich pay for it.
That's all you can have. That's all you can have. Those are the two options. I buy your land or I kill you and I take it. Which one do you want? Tell me you're not taking capitalism every fucking time.
Every time. Best system made up so far.
That's a nice house you have there. It'd be a shame if I murdered your entire family and moved in. Tell me capitalism isn't the greatest system of all time. Speaking of capitalism being the greatest system of all time, Ryan, I don't even have to go that far. Check out how fucking cool this is. This guy's paying with his Bitcoin at Steak and Shake.
Wow, dude. There it goes.
It's actually pretty quick too. Actually, that's part of the reason crypto hasn't completely taken off.
Well, tap to pay is
Um,
here now.
sure, but here's the thing. I don't recommend people do this. for the record.
Hold on to it for an investment.
Keep your Bitcoin. So here's your options, okay? Truly, here's your options. As somebody, if you have cryptocurrency in a wallet and you have money in your bank account, one of those is going to be worth more tomorrow, and one of them is going to be worth less tomorrow. Pay with the money. As cool as that is, pay with cash, because your dollar tomorrow is worth less than $1 tomorrow. Your 80 hundredths of a Bitcoin is worth 90 hundred. It's going, one goes up, one goes down. The choice is yours. I think it's
David,
fucking cool, but I would never do it.
I'm thinking my pension. I'm just gonna let that ride and maybe like do personal stuff, but do all my private owned investing just buy Bitcoin, and just let the pension run its course for 30 years.
Well, here's the thing, and that's kind of what
Because
I
you
do.
max out the pension, it maxes out at like 60K, out of your pension,
Yes.
and then there's stuff in there for your annuity and cover your health care.
Yeah, and this is, by the way, everybody, this is absolutely financial advice. Have your safe investments, do your 401k. That's a guarantee. I don't want to say guarantee. It is almost guaranteed historically that is going to go up 5 to 10%. And it's going to compound because you're constantly putting money in, and then the bigger your pot, the more the pot can grow.
Keep your
5%,
consumer debt low as well, people.
yeah, 5% of 1,000 is more than 5% of 100. So the more you put in, the more it grows. That's a no-brainer. Do that and plan on that being your retirement, and that's fine. But have some fun money to the side and put that into something a little riskier, whether it be, Bitcoin or whatever, and give yourself a chance. I mean, like, really give yourself a chance to have an exceptional retirement. Because quite frankly, what else are you going to do with that money?
Strippers and cocaine.
Yeah, you're going to buy dumb shit that you don't need. But wouldn't you much rather have something to look forward to? I mean, and don't get me wrong, if you have a solid career and you put a good percent, especially if your employer matches, if you put a good chunk away, you're going to have a pretty decent retirement. And you'll be all right and you'll be comfortable, and that's fine. And that's the Dave Ramsey method. But Dave Ramsey also told people when Bitcoin was $400 not to invest. So Dave,
Right, and if that was a stock, if that was Home Depot stock, he'd tell you to buy it.
Sure, yeah. And that's the thing. That's why we tell everybody, Dave Ramsey, I got nothing against the guy. I think he's pretty solid. Seems like a good guy. He makes great advice for people who want to be average. But you have to mix his advice with something. I'm not saying you got to go full Grant Cardone. That life is not for everybody.
Yeah, he should be the floor. Grant should be like the ceiling.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Try to mix their methods somehow. Let the bank pay for
Find the
stuff.
ceiling fan.
Kinda
Yeah,
love it.
you get to the ceiling fan.
Yeah. You gotta find a way to mix them, because that's fine. If you want to retire with a cool mill, that's fine. Do the Dave Ramsey method. If you think you'll be comfortable with a cool mill, you'll be nice and comfy. You'll always have a new car. Your bills will always be paid. That's fine. But if you want to like really have some fun, you gotta kind of take a risk.
Retire early.
Or retire early. Maybe you don't want to wait till you're 65.
40 sounds great, David.
Retiring at 40 sounds pretty cool. Retiring at 35 sounds pretty cool. Fuck, there's people who are under 30 retired because they're fucking billionaire. Like, those people didn't sit around and use the Dave Ramsey method. Now there's a lot of people who did the same things Elon Musk did, and they're fucking broke and they don't have a house in their home. It can go either way. You have to be the right kind of person. So be realistic, know who you are, and take an approach. But if you're relatively comfortable financially, have your 401k and then do something a little riskier. Maybe give yourself a yacht when you retire. That would be cool. Maybe you want to live off the coast of Florida.
Greece, David, Greece.
Maybe you want to be in the Virgin Islands at little St. James. Who knows? Who knows?
Or they have really nice bathrooms there, David, and kitchens.
Well, we saw the kitchen. James O'Keefe has now released another video, and it is in the bedroom, I believe, which is probably like the last room I want to see, to be honest with you. Just knowing.
Do you hear about
is-
Diddy
it's
getting cum rubbed on his nipples?
We're gonna have to do, in all seriousness, I've been trying to like absorb some of the Diddy stuff, but like there's so much. It's crazy. It's fucking madness.
Dude, they would have
So-
someone jerk off on her face and then take the cum and rub it on his nipples in the other room.
Yeah,
Or something like,
dude. We're gonna definitely dedicate an episode to Diddy, no doubt. Once everything's kind of settled, because holy shit, some of the stuff I've read is fucking wild. In the meantime, let's take a look. Let's take a look here, Ryan.
Inside Epstein's bedroom, O'Keefe Media Group continues our exclusive tour of the private island formerly owned by the alleged sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. And looking inside each of the buildings on the island, today we're going to bring you inside Jeffrey Epstein's bedroom. We've previously shown you the kitchen and the library, but in Epstein's bedroom,
missed a library.
we've made our most dramatic discovery yet. Landline telephones that show pre-programmed speed dial buttons labeled with names. You see the phones on the side of the bedroom tables here. We're going to take a look at these phones and the names on them. But first, the room itself, sparsely furnished.
Hillary.
On the desk, you see what's known as a phrenology skull. Phrenology is a debunked pseudoscience linking skull shape to personality traits. On one bedside table, you see a notepad that says Little St. James, that's the name of the island, printed at the bottom of each page, and a set of reading glasses of similar type worn by Epstein in deposition footage. The most striking detail, we see a Panasonic console phone on each bedside table. The multiple lines are labeled. The speed dial buttons bear the names of Epstein's staff and associates. These are the individuals Epstein called most frequently from his private island. Nobody has ever seen these before. We assume the FBI and the Department of Justice has these, but have not released it. Here you have NY office. That's Jeff Epstein's New York City office. This is Karina Shuliak, Epstein's last girlfriend. Darren Off, that's Darren Indike, an Epstein advisor and lawyer. You have Rich Office, that's Richard D. Kahn, Epstein's advisor and lawyer. And Patrick Sell, that's Patrick McMullen, an Epstein associate. And STC Office, that's the Special Tax Office of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Here we have another phone that was actually in a different room, but we see some of the same names and some new names. We see a Carlos, a Danny, which looks to be scribbled out with Kim written above it, a Mike, an Anna, and a Juggly. Now, what's interesting about Juggly is at first we thought it was Ghislaine Maxwell's nickname, but from what we could see online, her nickname, Epstein referred to her as G-Max. Don't know who Juggly is, but maybe you in the audience can help us solve that mystery. These are all of the known associates that Epstein would call on speed dial. Again, we assume the United States government has this. This is the first time anybody has published.
No, I'm sure they don't know any of those people.
Internet. You might be wondering why we aren't just dumping all of this immediately. Some people in the comments saying you should publish everything right now. Well, that's really not what journalists are supposed to do. We're trying to corroborate this and verify that what you're seeing is legitimate and understand who is on these phones before we report this information to you. People are messaging us every minute here at OMG at our Signal account, 914-491-9395. It's blowing up. Our Signal again, 914-491-9395, or they're sending a tip through our website or at tips@o'keefemediagroup.com.
So there was I didn't catch that. There is a
library
one. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Speed dial. Well, he definitely reposted the same speed dial video 1,000 times. Where's the What the hell's the library? Is this the library? Oh, shit. Hold on. Got it. I don't know how the fuck I missed that. I've been watching his page like all the time here.
Today, we release more never-before-seen video and images from inside Jeffrey Epstein's former island home, showing bizarre statues and a cryptic message written on a chalkboard by Jeffrey Epstein himself. The Jeffrey Epstein Island, also known as Little St. James in the Virgin Islands. Last time we took you inside the kitchen to show that really creepy image of a baby in a sink. YouTubers have snuck on the island. Luke Radowski, Tyler Olivier getting images of the
Luke
outside of the
Radowski
structures.
stuck on the island.
But today we're
What
going to
a
take you
fucking
inside
legend.
the structures, inside Jeffrey Epstein's library. We're going to take a closer look. Now, this has never been seen before. We are now inside the library. Dozens of books line the walls, including literature like Ernest Hemingway's Selected Letters, vacation reads such as Robert Ludlum's The Bourne Ultimatum, denser titles like The Golden Age of Theoretical Physics, and Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses. Now, a closer inspection revealed unusual objects, statuettes of winged figures in plague masks, and one of a semi-nude young woman washing herself while seated on a bidet. Video and photos of the library
What
also
the
show a
fuck?
horse whip, which is right here under the chalkboard, apparently crafted from leather and bones. And then we go to this chalkboard over here. Now, this chalkboard displayed cryptic words, including the word power, deception, mirror in face, dank brain, among others.
What?
Now, the chalkboard's message remains a mystery, and we're hoping that some of you in the audience can help decipher and ascertain what Epstein might be talking about here. This is, again, right after he was arrested. We compared the words on the chalkboard to a note Epstein wrote in his prison cell before his death. Several
shit.
letters and letter combinations from the note match those on the chalkboard, which leads us to believe they were in fact written by Jeffrey Epstein. And we're not sure what this means, but we're hoping you in the audience can take a look at this and tell us what you think he was trying to say here. Was it a message he was sending to the world? We're receiving a lot of images, videos, and photos as a result of our reporting. These sources reaching out to us include those within the government, people who don't trust anybody, including our own Department of Justice. These people are reaching out to us on Signal at 914-491-9395.
Well, it's pretty wild.
Creeps are creeps, man.
He's doing the thing that the government isn't doing. You know, when everyone promised to release the Epstein files, nobody did it. So I'm glad somebody's out there doing the work.
It's crazy. People cared more about Area 151. Area 51.
Ryan, the did you see? Does everyone remember? By the way, before I get too crazy, does everyone remember former FBI Director James Comey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he is the one who posted this to his personal account here. And it looks like seashells on a beach, 8647. Many are taking that as in code for 86 to kill 47 President Trump. And he is going to be certainly getting questioned over this. I don't know if people suspect. I don't know where people lie on this, but to me, what the fuck else is he talking about? There's no built-in plausible deniability here. Like, what could you possibly... First of all, that's obviously not a natural formation of shells. So somebody did it. presumably.
Why
him.
does 86 mean kill?
Let me see if I can get the exact where that comes from, but that is a very common code. In some contexts, 86 is used as slang to mean kill or murder, with 86 referring to a grave's approximate dimension, 8 foot long and 6 feet deep. There you go. I don't see what else that could possibly mean, Ryan. This is a former FBI director.
Well, maybe, given the circumstance, another former prosecutor would prosecute him, but he's not recommending it. They're treasonous, man. Maybe he was the guy that set up Trump to get shot. I'm the bullet that missed Trump, the base in your trunk.
I would imagine the FBI they certainly knew a lot more than they would lead on. I mean,
No, it's not.
Trump is a man who, let's be clear, obvious assassination attempts against him in the last election cycle.
Probably in his own personal life too, not even just professionally. Man,
I don't know where you go from here. Like, what do you do with this information?
you gotta arrest these people. Try them for treason.
I mean, people on January 6th who were unarmed at the Capitol were put in jail without trial for years. So what's the proper punishment here?
Gotta get them for treason, man.
I'll be curious. I'll be curious where that goes.
Crazy that guy's getting a pension.
There's no way he doesn't get pulled in and questioned. He's not going to have a good answer.
He was good talking circles, so I don't know.
What the fuck's he going to say? Oh, I found it. And then okay, you found it. So you posted it? Someone hacked my phone? Is that what he's going to say? I mean, come on.
It was AI.
It was an AI attack. Phishing scheme.
Yep.
Fuck these
I was
people.
cheating on my wife, and they called me with this.
Oh, that's supposed to be an S, right? SG47. I don't know. They're going to say some stupid shit. There's no defending that.
No. I think you just drag him in there, dude. What else can we do? I also think at some point that waiting on judges to ask questions is going to run its course. But I don't think people are ready for that conversation.
Take him to the island, Ryan.
Yes, that's it. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the largest, most beautiful glass of chocolate milk that you can buy. As always, David, I appreciate you most for your time, and I will see everybody on Monday. Thank you for tuning in for what, Dave? We're almost on a month now of the Daily Show, daily, weekly, Daily Show. 3 weeks?
4 weeks? Was that 4 weeks? Was that 3 weeks?
Yeah. 3 weeks. This was 3 weeks. So, yeah, as always, been fun. Love you long time, and I'll see you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.